Hello, my sweet child. Come sit close now. There's a spot here just for you. Pull that blanket up to your chin, snuggle into your pillow, and let your eyelids grow just a little heavier. That's it. You're safe. You're home. And Granny's here, right beside you, just like always. Tonight, I've brought a story I don't tell very often. It's one of those hush-hush stories, one we only speak of in whispers, like a secret passed from heart to heart. I've been saving it for a night just like this, when the stars are peeking shyly through the curtains, and the world feels still and close. Now, my darling, this isn't a fairy tale. This isn't something I made up to pass the time. No, this story is stitched into my memory like embroidery on an old handkerchief, delicate, personal, and true. And maybe, just maybe, it's been waiting for you to hear it. So listen close and let me take you back. It begins as many strange tales do, in a house. Not a haunted house, not in the way the movies show it. No creaking doors or flickering lights. From the outside, it looked like something from a storybook. It sat nestled at the edge of a quiet wood, surrounded by sun-drenched fields and singing birds. Ivy curled up its sides like green lace, and the windows glowed golden in the evenings. That was my great-aunt May's house. I was just about your age when I spent that summer with her. One of those long, slow summers where time feels syrupy and sweet. I remember stepping off the dusty bus, suitcase in hand, and seeing her standing at the gate, her hair pinned up, her smile wide, arms ready to wrap me into a hug that smelled like lavender and flower. Her farmhouse was old, filled with stories. Every corner held some antique, some memory. There were lace doilies on the end tables, hand-stitched samplers on the walls, and photos in sepia tones framed in ornate gold. And in the parlor, by the window that caught the afternoon sun, sat a grand old rocking chair. Oh, that chair. It was something to behold. Dark cherry wood, carved with delicate vines along the arms and legs. The back was tall and curved just right, and the seat cushion was soft, though faded with time. It looked like something a queen might rest in, or a beloved grandmother from long ago. I asked Aunt May about it the first day I arrived. She was stirring something on the stove, and when I pointed to the rocker, she paused for just a moment. "That's not our chair anymore," she said softly. I thought maybe I'd misheard. "Not ours?" She looked at me, a shadow of a smile playing on her lips. "It just stays there now, that's all." She didn't explain further. She didn't need to. Something in the way she said it gave me goosebumps, even in the summer heat. Still, I was a curious little thing, as most children are. At first, I just watched the chair. It was never used, not even when company came. People avoided it politely, as if by instinct, and yet it always seemed to move, just a little, a gentle sway, as if stirred by a breeze, but the windows would be shut and the air still. Once I set a book on its seat. When I came back, it had fallen to the floor. Another time, I placed a little crocheted doll in the corner of the seat, just something to watch. But when I returned, the doll had tipped over, facing the window, like it was watching the woods instead. None of it frightened me exactly, just made me curious. And so, one rainy afternoon, while Aunt May was baking bread and humming a tune downstairs, I decided to settle the matter for myself. I crept into the parlor, my feet making soft sounds on the old wooden floor, and I gently lowered myself into that rocker. At first, oh, it felt like sitting in a memory, The cushion was worn in a way that welcomed you. The wood was cool but comforting, like the arm of an old friend. And when I rocked, slowly, back and forth, I felt held, like I was cradled by something ancient and kind. I closed my eyes. The rain tapped on the windows like a lullaby. The scent of cinnamon and yeast floated up from the kitchen. My breathing slowed, and then the air changed. It wasn't dramatic, not a gust, not a sudden drop in temperature. It was subtler than that. A coolness settled just around the chair. A hush blanketed the room. Even the rain seemed to fade, like it was happening somewhere far away. I remember feeling a prickling at the back of my neck, and then a hand on my shoulder. Not heavy, not painful, but unmistakably there. I froze. I couldn't breathe. For the tiniest second, I thought maybe it was Aunt May, but when I turned, there was no one behind me. And yet, the chair was rocking faster now, as if someone else had joined me, as if I had stirred something that had been resting. I leapt up and ran from the room, heart pounding like a drum in my chest. I didn't look back. I didn't want to. That night, wrapped in a quilt and sipping warm milk, I asked Aunt May about the chair again. This time, she didn't change the subject. She told me about her grandmother, Elsie. Elsie had been the heart of the home, a kind woman with a sharp mind and a soft voice, beloved by everyone. She had rocked all her babies to sleep in that chair. She had mended clothes, read letters, and whispered prayers from its seat. One winter evening, when the snow fell thick and silent, Elsie had been found in that chair, peaceful, as if sleeping, but she was gone, just slipped away, still rocking gently, with a book in her lap and a shawl around her shoulders. After that, odd things happened. At first, it was just little noises, a creak here, a sigh there, then whispers, words that couldn't quite be made out. The dog would whimper at the parlor doorway. Visitors would glance over their shoulders. Mirrors caught shadows that shouldn't be. But she's not angry, Aunt May said, eyes misty. She's just still here, still rocking. I never sat in the chair again, but I began to greet it quietly when I passed. A little nod, a soft hello, and every night before bed, I swore I could hear it, rocking, slowly, gently, just beneath the sound of the wind. The summer passed. I went home, but I returned to Aunt May's house many times over the years. The chair was always there, still, waiting, always moving, just a little. We never spoke of it again. But one Christmas, many years later, I caught Aunt May placing a knitted blanket over the back of the rocker, a fresh one, soft and warm. She patted it with affection, then whispered, "Merry Christmas, Mama." And I understood. So my sweet one, what does all this mean? It means there's more to this world than meets the eye. There are things we feel in our bones, in the spaces between words, in the stillness of a room. Some souls stay close, not because they're trapped, but because they choose to remain, for love, for duty, for comfort, and that's nothing to fear. When you feel a chill that isn't from the air, when a dream feels like a message, when you think you see movement in an empty room, don't be afraid. Just smile. Just listen. Maybe it's someone watching over you, someone who still rocks gently in the night, making sure you're never alone. Now hush, my little one. Let your breath slow. Let your thoughts drift like leaves on water. You're safe. You are so deeply loved. And somewhere out there, maybe not far at all, a grandmother is rocking in a chair. humming softly, watching over all the ones she's loved. Rocking, rocking, rocking. If Granny's stories bring you comfort, my darling, I hope you'll think about subscribing to my little channel. It means more than you know. It helps me keep sharing these whispered tales with you and lets me feel your sweet presence across the miles. And maybe light a little candle tonight for Elsie, Just a flicker to say hello. I think she'd like that. Good night, sweetheart. Granny loves you, always.